Four Proud Boys have just been found guilty of seditious conspiracy. That's right. You've got Enrique Tarrio all the way at the end, Ethan Nordine, Joseph Biggs, and Zachary Real were found guilty in a partial verdict related to the January 6th event at the Capitol, orchestrated, of course, by then President Donald J. Trump. Now that they've been convicted of not just conspiracy, but seditious conspiracy, the January 6th event is officially sedition, not just a lawn and garden party like the Republicans would have you believe. The key point in this jury verdict is that the Department of Justice got a guilty verdict against Enrico Tarrio for conspiring on that January 6th sedition. I cannot repeat it enough. January 6th sedition event. He was found guilty even though he was not at the January 6th riot. Enrico Tarrio, of course, is, according to Wikipedia, an American activist, former FBI informant, and convicted felon. I don't know how they hurried up and got convicted felon on there today, 2 seconds after he was convicted, May 4th, 2023. But hey, that's where your Wikipedia dollars are going. Tarrio was convicted today. It's already up there of seditious conspiracy for the Capitol attack. All right. He was, by the way, the okay, he was the chairman of the Proud Boys, a far-right neo-fascist and exclusively male organization that promotes and engages in political violence in the United States. He is of Afro-Cuban background and served as Florida's state director of the grassroots organization Latinos for Trump. I wonder who was funding that. That's another video. We'll have to take a deep dive. But the most interesting part here, because Tarrio was convicted of conspiracy, even though he was not present at the January 6th riot at the Capitol, this opens the door for other co-conspirators to be prosecuted. So who can we get? Roger Stone, Rudy Giuliani, the Orange Menace himself. A girl can dream. Oh, a girl can dream. Maybe this is what Trump meant when he said he was going to drain the swamp. He was going to get them all to go to a riot, and then he was going to get them all arrested. Was that what he meant? Probably not. But if it works out that way, great. Thank you for keeping your promise. For now, let's take a look at some of the images of Enrique Tarrio with some of our elected officials who apparently think it's just fine to pal around with terrorists and seditionists. Who do we have? Oh, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, Don Trump Jr., Rick Scott, Dan Crenshaw of Texas, Roger Stone of Florida, and what picture of governmental malfeasance and disgustitude would be complete without Ted Cruz's face in it? I'm Julianna Forlano. You are watching the Political Voices Network. Thanks for watching. Leave your comments below.
Republicans say they won't cut Social Security, Medicare, or Medicaid. But can honest, hard-working middle-class Americans really believe what these politicians say? Republicans said they wouldn't overturn Roe v. Wade. Here's what Supreme Court Justices Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Coney Barrett said during their Senate confirmation hearings.
Roe v. Wade. It is a precedent of the United States Supreme Court. A good judge will consider it as precedent of the United States Supreme Court.
Roe v. Wade. It's settled as a precedent of the Supreme Court.
Roe is not a super precedent, but that doesn't mean that Roe should be overruled.
Well, we saw how that turned out. They played us for fools. Tell your elected officials to keep their hands off of our Social Security and healthcare benefits. Fool me once. Let Majority Rule was responsible for this message. LetMajorityRule.org is a project of the Marvin Lucas Super PAC, which is responsible for and paid for this ad and is not affiliated with or authorized by any political campaign or candidate or candidates committee.